Good evening. I've taken a couple of days, if not a little bit more, to send another video updating the situation and to make an assessment as to where we are. A number of factors have come into play, which has me always thinking about what are my goals really. Really, my goals are to, be an educator and to share my passion for dancing and to see adults have an opportunity to feel joy and to work out possibilities within the art form, whether or not you view it physically or mentally or philosophically or spiritually or all of those, to work out some deep things in your mind and body and soul that can change you. Ultimately, the circumstances of the illness against all of these other things, these other factors, work together to make one think of whether or not this is a sustainable business where I'm located. I still believe that it is, but it's just, I don't know. After all of these years, I don't want to admit to something that could not be realizable, but it's too little, too late, though the space is so much in every way. We're at $7,395 in the GoFundMe, which is essential for the arrears that's going on right now. I engaged legal counsel because I need to, and it turns out that what's available is not so cheap. So it's like an irony of how to move forward and take two steps back at the same time. But I need to know that within the scope of legalese that we're going to be able to traverse the system, I guess. I don't know. It's something that's outside of my range. So, that being said, a portion of the money of the GoFundMe is simply going to go to pay this man, a lawyer, and I'm having all kinds of thoughts about, consistently coming and feeling this anxiety within me. And, I've been talking about the significance of the psoas, and I've been wondering why my neck has been so sore recently. And then I noticed that it's not my neck, basically, it's my psoas on both sides. It's like so tight and knotted up, and that's my anxiety and my unease in my mind working through my body. I really do want to do good work for what I dedicate myself to in the world, and to be an honest, generous, kind, loving person at the same time. I see that within the scope of what I do, myself as person and as teacher, where does the line draw? Where does the teacher become the friend? Where does the friend become the counselor? Where does the person become the needy? Where does, so many different things. And I really don't know the answer to that, but I do know that historically with ballet persons, there's a level of separation from the public, and then also within the scope of, at least within my training, there was never an idea that the teacher was going to be your friend. They're friendly, they're concerned, they have love, they have passion. but by any means they're not creating a community the way I am, which then puts me in this vulnerable state where people who would not normally offer advice or come to say things from their heart or from their mind or from an area of disturbance or anything about the studio that never would have happened before if it were run, if the studio were run, in a regular way. And I accept that notion. I accept the idea that I, to a large degree, in what I do and in my vision, also offer a leadership guidance role. And it's hard for me to be a leader and a guide and with all of these things looking as if they're falling and crashing right at my feet. I want the business to survive from many levels, but I want it mainly to survive, to offer what it was that I started out having it for, which was for a place for adults to come and feel accepted, nurtured, educated. There are 800 or so people on my email list. That does not mean that all 800 people are looking at the emails. As a matter of fact, some of them are also included in unsubscribed. But when I crunch the average of the numbers of the actual emails that hit inboxes and that are opened and that are read, there are approximately 469 that are consistently over the average of, let's say, 10 emails that are read. I know that, for those that have given to help support me, I thank you. And I was going to, look at deducting those people who've already contributed from the 269 people to then make a plea to the remaining grouping of a certain amount. But I don't know. So many things feel uneasy in me, and I don't like this unease. It moves me into a state of paralysis. Like I feel like I can't. I'm not one to feel so under the thumb, but for some reason the situation has me, since it's out of my scope, it has me super stagnating in a way. I would ask though, this is a fact, that no matter whether or not there's no more money coming in the GoFundMe, money that's dedicated to the 2 months that are in arrears are not quite covered. So we're still going to be ultimately in the same place in a little bit. September, Lord willing, will be a turnaround, but it's about timing and time as it moves on, with people joining and committing. And maybe we don't have enough time. I would like to though request those of you who have not donated, would you please? It would average, if I said that there were about half of the 469 people, 230 people or so, that if you committed, let's say, $20, we have, easily within our range of what we need to make. 30 would be ideal, because that way it probably pushes us to a tally of about 14,000 or so. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you guys and your heart and where you think that your support of me and or care or concern or indifference factors in. You know, I think a lot, and I feel like you know, I don't want to come forth as like this. I feel that I'm so exceptional that you should give me money, you know, or that your work and the things that you do in your careers and your professions and everything in your family are any less important than what I do, because it's not. I just happen to be in this place at this stage, and I'm here, and I would like to continue to be here, albeit I leave it to you. I thank you, everybody, and I know that this is like a, you know, like I'm really coming with this very somber kind of message, but within this sense of, you know, gravity that I am putting forth, there is a sense of hope. The hope, though, does not necessarily lie in everything just smoothing over, because I don't think it's going to be that easy. And I don't even know if things will ultimately smooth over. It's within the scope of providential mandates, is what I feel. And I know that many of you don't agree with the way I feel about providence. But I say this frequently, that if I'm really meant to be here, I will be here, even notwithstanding the hardships that are going on right now. Or if I'm not meant to be here, no matter how hard I try, it will not be. You know, I know that there are ironies there, even in that statement of having a belief in providence, but then here crying out this way. I don't purport to know anything about the mystery of it all, except to say that it's a mystery. Sorry for this amount of time for me to have this message, everyone, but if you're still here, much love. Much love. And I'll keep you abreast of what's going on. No matter what students that are attending right now, which is incredibly light, but those of you that are attending now, no matter what happens, I am committed to you, and I'm committed to moving us forward one step at a time. God bless you, everyone, and I just do hope that you'll consider to make a further donation. And I can't vow or promise, but I know one thing: I don't want to do this again in this manner. I want to share art with you, and I want to share knowledge and ideas with you. Talk soon.